Hello everyone. In this video, I will going to discuss the topic secondary messenger for the subject cellular and molecular pharmacology for master in pharmacology first year students. Introduction. Secondary messengers are molecules that relay signals from receptors on the cell surface to target molecules inside the cell. They greatly amplify the strength of the signal, causes some kind of changes in the activity of the cell. They are a component of cell signaling pathways. Earl Wilbur Sutherland Jr. discovered a second messenger for which he won the 1971 Nobel Prize. Basically, these secondary messengers, they are short-lived intracellular signaling molecules. Elevated concentrations of secondary messengers leads to rapid alteration in the activity of one or more cellular enzymes. Removal of degradation of secondary messenger terminate the cellular response. Basically, there are four classes of secondary messenger: cyclic nucleotides, membrane lipid derivatives, calcium, nitric oxide or carbon monoxide. First we will discuss cyclic AMP. So cyclic AMP is a secondary messenger that is synthesized from adenosine triphosphate ATP by the action of the enzyme adenylyl cyclase. Then binding of the hormone to its receptor activities a G protein which in turn activates adenylyl cyclase. It leads to appropriate response in the cell by either or both using protein kinase, a CAMP dependent protein kinase that phosphorylates targets proteins. CAMP binds to a protein called CREB, that is CAMP response element binding protein, and the resultant complex controls transcription of genes. Now second one is cyclic GMP. Cyclic GMP is synthesized from the nucleotide GTP using the enzyme guanylyl cyclase. So nitric oxide stimulates the synthesis of cGMP. Many cells contain a cGMP stimulated protein kinase that contains both catalytic and regulatory subunits. Some of the effects of cGMP are mediated through protein kinase G. cGMP serves as a secondary messenger for nitric oxide, and the second one is the response of the rods of the retina to light. Third one is diacylglycerol. Diacylglycerol stimulates protein kinase C activity by greatly increasing the affinity of the enzymes for calcium ions. Protein kinase C phosphorylates specific serine and threonine residues in target proteins. Known target proteins include calmodulin, the glucose transporter, HMG-CoA reductase, cytochrome P450, etc. Coming to inositol triphosphate, that is IP3, this soluble molecule diffuses through the cytosol and binds to receptor on the endoplasmic reticulum, causing the release of calcium ions into the cytosol. The rise in intracellular calcium triggers the responses. For example, the calcium rise is needed for NF80, the nuclear factor of activated T cell, to turn on the appropriate genes in the nucleus. Mode of action of these molecules, that is peptide and proteins hormones like vasopressin, thyroid stimulating hormone, and neurotransmitters like GABA binds to GPCRS. This activates the intracellular enzymes phospholipase C. PLC in turn cleaves PIP2 to yield two products, BAG and inositol triphosphate, that is IP3. Now calcium ions. Many cells respond to extracellular stimuli by altering their intracellular calcium concentration. Calcium acts as a secondary messenger in two ways. It binds to an effector molecule such as an enzyme activating it. Second, it binds to an intermediary cytosolic calcium binding protein such as calmodulin. Third one, the binding of calcium causes profound conformational changes in calmodulin that increases calmodulin's affinity for its effector molecules. Last one is nitric oxide. Nitric oxide acts as a secondary messenger because it is a free radical that can diffuse through the plasma membrane and affect nearby cells. It is synthesized from arginine and oxygen by the nitric oxide synthase. So these are some references. Thank you for watching this video.